Someday, in the not-so-distant future, it happens. The moment you realize you're ready for anything. Get a degree in emergency management from Jacksonville State University and be ready for where you're going.
This is your Weather Extreme video for Saturday, March the 15th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks for tuning in. The Ides of March. Interesting temperature trace from my weather station in Helena, and the temperatures did not fall much overnight thanks to the clouds and a few sprinkles, especially north of the Birmingham area. This morning, Skycam network across central Alabama showing a good deal of clouds across, you can see from the Birmingham as well as the Hamilton Skycam, and radar showing just a few patches of light rain or drizzle, but for the most part, I think the day stays fairly dry. At the surface, we have kind of a complex weather pattern that is a little more simplified by looking at the upper atmosphere, but we have a kind of a double frontal system across the eastern part of the country. But in the upper atmosphere, the main trough over the eastern part of the U.S. is going to sharpen up as a result of the little shortwave coming out of the Four Corners area, and that should bring potential for some severe thunderstorms across parts of southeast Texas and Louisiana, as well as the Florida Panhandle for Sunday. Temperatures across the country not looking too shabby this morning. Still pretty chilly up there in the northern reaches of Minnesota, where they're in the single digits, but still that's a lot better than the minus values we've been seeing. Temperatures across central Alabama, as I say, are basically fairly warm. Typical lows for this time of year are in the mid and upper 30s for the most part. So we're about anywhere from 10 to 15 degrees above those values. So it is kind of warm, and humidity is up a little bit, so it's kind of moist. You can see on radar that we do have a few showers, especially over the east central area, but they're very light. And for the most part, any spots that got rain got only just a few hundredths of an inch. However, over the next, especially the next 48 hours, it looks like we're going to see a real soaker with a lot of rain on Sunday. Doesn't look like anything severe in the way of either severe thunderstorms or any flooding potential, but we are going to get a good soaking on the order of 1 to 2 inches. Storm Prediction Center is outlooking a slight risk area that extends from about New Orleans back to the west and goes back into central Texas. That area will shift on day 2. Sunday will shift over along the Gulf Coast, primarily in the vicinity of Mobile, Pensacola, Panama City, and Apalachicola. Now, we have to watch this weather situation because it looks like with the upper air pattern that the threat of severe weather would be down there along the Gulf Coast, but we'll have to watch to make sure that that instability doesn't get too far to the north. All right, let's take a look at modeling this morning, and this is the 06Z GFS model run. And you can see the map for today at midday, and basically we're watching the development of the surface low off to the west. The trough comes out of the Four Corners area and moves across South Texas on Sunday, and that should help to solidify a fairly good surface low and bring rain to the area during the day Sunday. And that rain should be ending as the trough moves by on Monday about midday, and that should help the rain to be ending by the middle of the day, and we should see at least rain-free. Don't look for any sun as the clouds stay in with us. And again, the threat of severe weather is marginal, but down along the Gulf Coast. The little short wave moving across the southeastern U.S. begins to weaken as it moves out into the southwest Atlantic, but it's followed very quickly by another short wave moving through the north central part of the United States. So the pattern remaining pretty active in terms of these little systems moving through quickly. But with this one, it looks like the main threat will be a surface low up in the western Great Lakes area and some cold weather up there with some snow possibilities for that area. But down here, the system will be somewhat moisture starved. That doesn't dig in deeply down into the southeastern U.S. We kind of get a glancing blow from it with the trough coming down into the Ohio River Valley, but not all the way down into the Tennessee River Valley. So that'll drag a weak front down into the area. But again, moisture looks to be somewhat limited. So we'll have to watch for the possibility of entering some small chance for an isolated shower or two on Wednesday. But right now it looks like it should be dry. Thursday, we come under a bit of a ridge for a short period of time, so that should be good weather for us. Friday, we're beginning to watch the developments of just another short wave. So, as I say, the pattern is very active, and that additional short wave coming into the western Great Lakes will produce another surface low up that way, which will generate a cold front, and that cold front may bring us some wet weather as the trough digs into the Ohio River Valley. And this one looks like it'll have a little more impact on our weather down here. So next Saturday we could see a front moving into the area. So Saturday, a week from today, should be a somewhat wet day. Maybe not quite as wet as this one. It'll be more of a showery situation. But anyway, it looks like a bit of a wet pattern. Going out into voodoo country, and the pattern remains very active. There's another short wave moving through the eastern part of the United States on the 25th, so that could prove to be some rain for us. And then we see another one that is moving through the Great Lakes around the 29th. Now, none of these appear to be that substantial to produce any kind of major severe weather event, but you know how it is. This is voodoo country, and we just kind of look at trends and see how things are shaping up. Well, that'll do it for the Weather Extreme video. I expect to have the next one posted first thing on Sunday morning. So in the meantime, I hope that you have a great Saturday. Get done what you want to do today, because tomorrow's likely to be pretty wet. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. Godspeed.
Thank you for trusting us to be your #1 source for news
in all of Central Alabama.
in back-to-back ratings periods.
More people watched ABC 3340
than any other station in Birmingham.